This area we're in now, Pillar Point, this was a fishing community. It still is to a certain extent, but it's a shadow of what it used to be. You go to a lot of ports now, you'll see a lot of taffy stands and souvenirs. You don't see the gear shops. You don't see the fishermen out there mending nets. If you go around the harbors now, you'll see a lot of places that used to support fish, particularly Fisherman's Wharf is an ideal example in San Francisco. In the 40s, that place was unbelievable with the amount of fishing effort in that little area. It was a working waterfront. And now you go there and it's Pier 39 and it's Ripley's Believe It or Not. There's a creep there that's going on that's displacing all this. So how do we get that back?
So gentrification is a huge issue all over the country because seaports are often in urban areas, and that's where they had their beginnings. And the pressure of increasing land values, of the views, of the quality of being on the water for other types of uses is an enormous pressure that does threaten, seaports and their survival. 40% of the seafood that America consumes comes through Seattle and feeds America. So we're not on the decline here, and let's hope we never are, because it's a great, wonderful thing. Even Fisherman's Terminal here was threatened with gentrification. About 20 years ago, when I was on the Seattle City Council, fishermen came to me and said, you've got to stop the port. They want to gentrify, they want to bring luxury yachts in here, they want to build hotels and restaurants, and no, we won't have it. At the time, I happened to be in the position of controlling land use in the city as the chair of the Land Use Committee. And I told the port, we're not going to let this happen to the Fisherman's Terminal. Rethink your plans, fix up the terminal, repair it, put new infrastructure in, but don't displace the fishermen and the fishing boats here. Fortunately, they took the right turn in that regard, and we have what we see here today still.
Westport is a fishing town, and for a long time it seemed like a quality that we kind of set aside or was not a focal point. And in recent years, I think the community and several people have come to realize that this working waterfront and the fishing and the seafood and these working boats are what's interesting to people. People come here to see it, and it's not something that should be put aside. It's something we should highlight. We think every waterfront is like this, that every waterfront is, kind of bustling. There's a lot of activity, and it takes going out and seeing other marinas, other areas, other ports and harbors to recognize that they aren't all like this. The great thing about our harbor is our leadership, the port commissioners, and they recognize that, hey, this is worth investing in. This isn't going anywhere. So we're kind of in those early planning stages right now of rebuilding these 40, 50, 60-year-old docks in preparation for the future. Fishing is like our Amazon. Our fishing is our Google. I mean, this industry, which is so special, employs such a large percentage of our population and has this value that's not just money and it's not just food, but it's a heritage, it's a culture, it's, it has so much significance to so many people. And so if you want to support small working waterfronts like ours, you do that in supporting the fishermen who harvest the seafood that comes from here. When you're protecting this industry, local American caught seafood, you're protecting the heartbeat of towns like this, and that is so important.